Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel and to another Transformers review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new Legacy Velocitron Speedia 500 Collection Robots in Disguise 2000 Universe Scourge. Dear goddess, that's a long title. I'm just going to be referring to this as Black Convoy because, you know, if it was made by the Americans first, I'll refer to them by their American names, but if they were made by the Japanese first, then I will refer to them as their Japanese names. And this is, of course, Black Convoy from Car Robots. So, right, let's have a look around the box, as we always do, and it is another gorgeous box. I don't usually keep boxes, but I do quite like these enclosed ones for storing instructions in. They work really well, so I'll definitely be keeping this one. And you've got some gorgeous artwork of Black Convoy there in his truck mode and in his robot mode, and he's up there again in the top left hand corner in his truck mode. Absolutely gorgeous artwork. Let me see if I can wiggle this around so you can, there you go, you get a better look of the whole robot from that angle. Absolutely wonderful. And then on the back there, I'm sorry about the glare off of my my lights, but it's the only way I can light this box because it's quite large. On the back there, you've got him in his robot mode and his truck mode again, and there's the product shots, obviously. Loads of guff on the bottom, and then you've got a bit more Black Convoy on this side. Yeah, nothing much on the bottom, Speedia sign there, and just a bit more product shot on the top. So, right, let me crack him open and we'll take a closer look. Right then, so here's Black Convoy out of his box, and I've got to say, this truck mode, oh, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous truck mode, but we'll get to that in a minute. As usual, let's have a look what he comes with. So he does come with instructions. And it's the big fold-out ones, which I'm not a massive fan of. I would prefer that they did it in sort of like a booklet, but you know, it's instructions. It's not that big of a deal. So there you go, you get those. And then he comes with this thing. I don't know what this is meant to be. I mean, you can fold it over and it's a little UFO. I don't really know what it's meant to be. I mean, it's not something that he had in a show, so it's something that Hasbro have decided that they wanted to throw in for extra value. No, not really cutting it for me, but I don't know. Apparently you can, well, not apparently, you can put the sword in here, and let me just get that the right way around. I think it's that way. Those little tabs have to go through there. Is it that way? There we go. Oh, it doesn't want to go in. Maybe don't put it tab side round. Oh god, I don't know. I forgot to do this before I started the review. There we go. There we go. No, that just looks ridiculous. To me, that just looks really daft. So, but yeah, anyway, he's got that thing. But then he does also have a sword, which actually is nice. I do like the sword. The sword looks pretty cool. Yeah. So, let's see if we can get in and look at those details there. Looks alright, looks like a sword. Now I do have a couple of other Black Convoy figures, so just quickly, this is the sword from the Generations E-Hobby Black Convoy. Completely different there, not really much similarity at all. And then this is the sword from the it's quite big, the Fans Hobby Master Builder Arch Enemy, and yeah, those are a little bit more alike. So yeah, so that's it for sword comparisons, because that's all I have. But yeah, it's alright, looks quite nice. I don't know, I'm assuming that the colour is supposed to be more of a purple, but it's pink. It's more pink to my eye anyway, and it's certainly coming off more pink on the camera as well. It's not a huge issue, but would have liked it a darker purple, I think. But otherwise it's alright, it's quite nice. So that's it for accessory type accessories. I mean, obviously the other accessory is the trailer, so let me just pop this off and I'll bring Convoy out of the way for a minute. Let's put him down there. And we can have a look at this. I forgot as well, there is this bit that's in the top of the trailer that you can pop out, hopefully. There we go. I don't think there's much you can do with this. I mean, I suppose you could hold it. But anyway, it's there. It's on the top of the trailer. None of the rest of these bits can open or anything. So let's have a look at the trailer. And yeah, I mean, it looks okay, but it just feels cheap. I will say it feels better than the trailer that Earthrise Prime came with. It doesn't feel quite as cheap and crappy as that, but it's still not. It's all right, I guess. It's just not great, but it does what it's meant to do, and it does look like a tanker. So yeah, it's got some nice silver on it anyway. At least they put some paint on it. Wheels are still clipped rather though than not pinned. Oh god, I can't speak. They're clipped rather than pinned, which is a shame, but I mean, given the price of this thing, you would have thought that they could have stretched to a couple of pins, but yeah. And there's some nice detailing at the top. That looks alright. That's quite nice. So you can obviously just leave this as the trailer if you want, but you can also open it up. So let's do that. So we're going to want to just take that bit. That bit will fold out, and then can just split it apart. Let me just move the camera a wee bit so you can see better. It's not all going to fit in here now, is it? I'll have to do it at an angle. Let's do it at this angle. And then you can bring this bit, and it's got the little repair arm jobby on it. It doesn't want to stay. And yeah, that's basically it. Let me just see if I can move this back a bit so we can get it a bit more in. There we go. That's better. So yeah, excuse me, I keep knocking the camera. Oh, it's not really that exciting, is it? It's the same. It's the same as the other one. It's the same as the other trailer. I mean, personally, I won't use it like this. I don't have the space, but I mean, if you do, I mean, you can. This bit rotates around. The bit in the instructions, I'm just trying to look at how it goes in the instructions. This bit folds down like so, and then that all folds up like that somehow, I think. Yeah, I think that's it. So you could have it doing that. When we transform Black Convoy, excuse me, Convoy, I can't speak still, we'll have a look at this properly, but I think you can put, does this bit fold down? Oh yeah, it goes that way, so you can put that bit up there. So yeah, that makes a bit more sense now, so that'll go there. I think he just stands behind it. I don't think it's a base that he can actually stand on. I haven't tried it, which I know is a bit useless of me, but yeah, it's I suppose it is better than the Earthrise one. It's not a great deal better, but it is a bit better. It does make for a better base mode, I think. Yeah, it looks alright. So let me just get this out of the way and I'll bring Black Convoy back in. Just 1 second. Alright, so I think this is the bit that most people are interested in anyway. I know this is the bit I was most interested in. And yeah, I love the way this looks in truck mode. It's really nice. So yeah, as you can see, it's got some nice detailing on it. And it is a remold in part of the Earthrise Optimus Prime, but we'll get to that in a minute. As you can see, nicely done. His arms do just sort of hang out the back though, but it's not too bad. It doesn't look awful. I keep knocking those shut. Could have done with a point where they just sort of clip in place, so you know I don't keep pushing them in, but it's not a huge issue. Got that bit quite right. But yeah, it looks quite nice. Now the colour of the windows is the same as the colour of the other pieces, but I don't know, for me it kind of looks, it looks more of a deeper purple. I don't know, what do you guys think? It's the same, it's just, maybe it's just my eyes. Getting old. But yeah, it looks nice. Got some nice purple, clear purple in here as well for the headlights. Can't really see them too well, but you get the idea. But it's nicely detailed. It's a good looking truck mode. So yeah, if you want to store these extra pieces that you get, I just realised whilst I was playing around with it that this is actually meant to look like the hitch. So you can see there's a couple of slots there and there's a couple of posts there, and if you put that in there, which is difficult to show, but you can get the idea. There you go, that goes in there, and that will hold on there. You can't store the sword in here because it's too long, but you can if you flip it underneath, excuse me, if you flip it over you can store it underneath. A couple of pegs there, and then they'll go into those two holes there, and that will just sit like so. And it doesn't get in the way or anything. It still rolls. My only concern is it does kind of look like it's bending a little bit, but I mean for me it's going to be in robot mode anyway, so not a huge issue there. But if you did want to store it, I would suggest being slightly careful with it, because yeah, I wouldn't leave it under there for too long, put it that way. But get it out. Whoop. There's that, and I do have a couple of comparisons. I've got the Generations e-hobby one, and it's not quite gone together correctly. I don't know what I've done here, but it was driving me insane, so that'll have to do, I'm afraid. You can see the differences there. This is definitely a much better one. This one's alright, and it was okay at the time, and I do still like it. It's a nice truck mode. But yeah, this is definitely more cartoon accurate. You can see it's you know, it's a lot different. So there's that. I'm going to do something I don't usually do. I don't usually like to do masterpiece type comparisons, but this is my all-time favourite figure, or Car Robots figure. Anyway, let me just come out a little ways. And this is the Fans Hobby Master Builder Black Convoy, or Arch Enemy as they called him, and I love that thing. This is my, if my house were on fire, what figure would I rescue? Bot, this one. It's gorgeous, I love it. But you get the general idea there. Let me just come out a little bit more. can see. Yeah, it's a bit of an unfair comparison, really. Funnily enough though, this is actually more detailed transformation wise than this, but this is still one of my all-time favourite figures. I love it. So there's that. But we also need to do this. So come here. There we go. There's Optimus. And you can see there, well, you can't really do it that way. You can see where it's similar. Most of the leg parts are reused. There are some differences, but the lower half, all the legs, they're basically reuses from the Earthrise, which in turn was remoulded from the Siege. So yeah, the lower half is pretty much like 4 years old at this point, but you get the idea. Let's see what else is the same. The wheels are different, which is nice. There we go. Yeah, and you can see the petrol tanks or diesel tanks on the side there. They're pretty much the same. Yeah, the cabs are where it's really different though, and the transformation process is quite a lot different also. But yeah, it's a pretty decent truck mode. Now, I guess the question is, can Black Convoy pull Optimus's trailer? And the answer to that is, I don't know, because it's packed away. Top tip, if you have MP10 and you've got the trailer with it, because I think they sold it on its own in the West, didn't they? Just Masterpiece Prime MP10, they didn't put a trailer with it. But if you have that and you have the Earthrise trailer, the Earthrise trailer fits really nicely into MP10's trailer. See, I know stuff. I know stuff. Let's have a look though, see if Prime can pull Black Convoy's trailer. I'm pretty sure it can. It'll just go in the same hole, won't it? So there we go. That actually doesn't look half bad. That, I mean, this might be something you probably may not see outside of Europe, but most of our trucks look like this, so that is pretty accurate for what you would see on European roads. So that actually looks really good to my eye. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I quite like that. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, if Prime can pull this one, then I'm sure Black Convoy can pull the other one. Like I say, it's packed away though, so can't get it out to show you. I'm sorry. There we are again, and yeah, it looks really good. Looks really good like that. Happy with that. Right, so I guess we'll get to the transformation then, because I don't think there's much else for me to talk about in this mode. I think I've covered everything. So yeah, let's do that then. Alright then, so you're going to start at the sides and just going to lift this panel up. And I'll just point out that there is a tiny little tab there, so just be mindful of that when you're going back into the truck mode. It's just there. You can see it just goes over like that. So lift those up, and then you're going to come and just going to bring those legs down like so, and then fold out the arms to there, and then just bring this out to there, and at this point you can rotate the lower body, come to the front. Oh, it's already popped open. No, you want to start at the top, excuse me. You just want to untab this piece like so. Now come to the front and just crack that bit open. Let me just change the camera a little bit. There we go. So then we're at this stage, and then from here you just bring this section down and out. Requires a little bit of fiddle. There we go. and then back round to the front. So I'm just going to open the feet up. Let's just open those up for a minute, and then I can just stand him. There we go, that's a bit better, isn't it? Right, come round to the front here and wait for the camera to focus. There we go. You're going to rotate this whole section around. See, it's just in there like that. You're going to rotate it all around, bring that out, and then just snap that into place there. And then just move this out of the way. You're going to bring the arm around from the back, but you don't want to bring it all the way around for the minute. So you're going to bring it out to there. Just do the same on the other side. So bring it out to there, because what you want is this bit here. There's a little piece here that needs to be flush, or else you can't close up the side panels. So then you're going to do that. You're going to close up the side panels, and you can see there's a tab piece here that's going to line up here. So just bring that up. You want to do that on both sides, and then you're just going to clip that all into place, and then bring that front piece down, and that will clip into place like so. Then you're just going to come back round to the arms, and this part is just going to end up in here. So just bring that around, and you'll hear that clip into place. Same on that side. You can bring the arms down, and again you'll hear this click into place like so, just like that. Fold those bits down, come to the back, flip up the head, bring it over. It doesn't really tab in, it just sort of sits. And then in here you're going to want to just get a nail in here, flip this bit down, bring that whole piece up against his back, and it'll just tab into there. Flip these bits down the front, split the legs, rotate the arms, flip out the hands, and you're done. And there's your Black Convoy, or Scourge if you prefer, in his robot mode. And he does look really good. He's a pretty nifty looking robot. Yeah, I'm well pleased with the way this has come out personally. I think it looks great. Yeah. Right, so let's get in closer and have a look at that head sculpt, and that is a pretty spot on head sculpt. That I like that a lot. Absolutely gorgeous. And they have spent a bit of money on this figure. Not a great deal, but a bit. We do have some nice metallic blues here. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, I don't know originally which of these figures came first. Whether it was... I think it was the Laser Optimus Prime figure that came first. And then they recoloured it for car robots in Japan. I think that's how it worked, but I don't know if the original, what we call Laser Optimus Prime or G2 Optimus Prime, whether he was originally a convoy. If you know, please let me know, because yeah, I'm interested to know how that worked. But yeah, he's got some nice paint, and in his robot mode, all these lovely pieces of clear plastic here really pop. They look very good. And he does have a little bit of paint down his chest here. And then a couple of extra bits we didn't see. Just a little bit here we didn't see in his truck mode. Would have been nice if there was a little bit of paint on the feet, but since we haven't had that, I mean, at all. Oh no, I tell a lie, looking at Earthrise Prime, there is some silver paint here, so that would have been nice, and a little bit on here would have been appreciated as well. But it's not a huge issue. And then around the back. yeah, it's not terribly hollow. I mean, yeah, this bit's not great, but it's not awful. It's not awful. There's nothing too bad there. I mean, at least the arm sections are all closed in, and you can just see there the way that the top of the truck there just hangs off the back. But it's always done that, so that's perfectly fine with me. So articulation wise, well, yes, he's got some. You can move the head. It's on a ball joint, I think. I'm not 100% sure. It does. You get a little bit of. Yeah, there you go. You get a little bit of side to side movement out of it. So I think it's on a ball joint. Oh, and a tell a lie, that actually does clip in. I didn't think it did, but it does. So yeah, anyway, you get that, and I will say as well, you can't really see it because the lights are in front of the figure, but if you put a light behind the figure, the light piping on the eyes is just perfect. It's fantastic, looks great. So anyway, yeah, you get that. Now obviously you do have the movement of the front of the truck here, so you can move that any way you like, but he does also have movement at the shoulder here, and for some reason that's a ratcheted joint. I don't know. And it goes up and down. You've got bicep swivel, just about 90 degrees at the elbow, I'd say. Bring that back down. Waist rotation. Oh, and yes, you do have a swivel at the wrists as well. Legs go out to the front, that far. Out to the back, that far. Out to the sides. And he's got upper thigh rotation. And a little over 90 degrees at the knee. It's basically whatever Earthrise Prime has, he's got. No up and down, but he does have a tilt at the ankle, and you can obviously open and close the toes and the heel for whatever you can use that for, really. So yeah, he's got some nice articulation, which you would expect for a... I'm not going to call this a leader class figure because it's not, it's a Voyager class figure. So for a Voyager class figure, he's got a decent amount of articulation. He does also have a couple of other things that you can do. You can open these up and you get all those missiles. If you want to display them like that, it's popped up again. Which actually does look really cool. Yeah, like that. Loving the colour. And he does also have... There we go. It does have a teeny tiny little matrix, and it does come out, so you can take it out if you want. And yeah, as I say, it's really tiny, but it's just the same as Prime's one, as far as I can tell. Let me just get that out. I can remember how to get it out. Talk amongst yourselves while I get it out. Oh no, I think it is actually different. It is actually different. Well, that's surprising. Look at that. Didn't realise the two were so different. So yeah, I mean, you can't change them over, then that's not going to fit in there, I don't think. No, if you wanted to give him that, you can't. It's not going to fit. So I assume that the laser Optimus Prime that's out has the exact same matrix, but obviously in a more, you know, matrixy colour. So yeah, there you go. Don't really know that he can hold it because he doesn't have the hands that open and close. See if we can get him into a holding the matrix position. I don't think we're going to be able to get that. No, I don't think that's going to work because you really need the hands to open to get them both around there without breaking anything. So that's a bit of a shame, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. I can't remember if he even had it in the anime. I can't remember if he even if he had one and if he took it out. It's been a while since I've watched Car Robots, so let's just pop that back in there. There you go, and you can close that away. So yeah, so that's his robot mode. So before I get into all the comparisons and that, let's have a look at the trailer again. Just give me a second, because I need to transform it back again. Right. Here's the trailer piece again. I need to move the camera a bit. So yeah, I realised after I'd done this earlier that I hadn't rotated this part around. That's why it looked weird earlier, but you have to rotate it on that ball joint there. So yeah, now it's the right way around. So I mean, I guess you can do. You can use it as the repair bay droid, the same as Prime, I imagine. So I just don't have enough room here. So you can do something like that. Excuse me, I'm having a terrible time with my throat today. I guess you could open that matrix chamber back up and could have the droid working on him somehow if you wanted to. So there's that. Or you can... There's that bit. Let's put this bit back on there. And you can have him standing behind it and using it as a base of some description. Yep. Yes, if you wanted to. I guess also with the trailer, you can store some stuff in here as well. I never thought to show that earlier, but yeah, you can put stuff in it if you want to. You just have to. Well, this bit comes off as well, by the way. If you wanted to take that bit off, you could absolutely take that bit off. Just rotates on there. Let me see. How did I do this earlier? Fold that up. Let me just quickly take it away, and I'll fold it all up again and bring it back. Alright, so here it is again. So you can't get a huge amount in there, but you get a general idea. You can put some stuff down here, and you could put some small things in there. So I guess you could probably put, let's say, you could put some effects parts in there, and you can put his sword in there, and the trailer hitch. That can go in there as well, and then you can fold all that up, and that will sit in there quite nicely. I mean, like I said, you can't get a huge amount in there, but I mean, if you wanted to store some stuff in there, you totally can. It's, you know, there's a fair bit of room in there. So there you go, you get the general idea there anyway. So yeah, so there's the other bits you can do with the trailer. I don't know, I think mine's just going to go in a box with all the others, to be honest, because I just don't really have the space. That's the trouble. But if you do, then you know, it's keep knocking the camera. Then it's definitely a better one than the one that came with Prime. So speaking of Prime, let's bring him in and we can take a look at how they look together. And, yeah, there's a bit of an optical illusion going on there that makes it look like the new one, the Black Convoy, is actually taller, but it's not. It's the same. You can't really see it with the shoulders, but it's the same height. It's just with the shoulders up like that, it makes it look bigger. But yeah, I mean, you get a general idea of what they've used and what they've changed. I think it's different enough, but mostly it's the stuff down the legs that's the reused parts. As you can see there, the hip sections are the same, the thighs are the same. These pieces, these flaps are the same. The outer moulding, the inner moulding is different. The feet are the same. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. I don't understand why they they've used these really nice opening closing hands on Earthrise Prime. So the moulding is there, the tooling is there for it. Why have they not used it here? I mean, it wouldn't have killed them, really, would it, to have done that? I wouldn't have thought so, especially at the higher price point. I mean, it's 55 quid now. It was bad enough when it was 50 for a Voyager class with a load of toot that nobody wants. Well, I mean, I guess trailers are okay, but I still think they're overpriced. But yeah, just, it's already there. They've done the tooling, and it would have been so easy. Anyway, but there you go. That gives you a good idea. Don't think anything on the arms, maybe the inner arms, but I can't see anything there. Obviously the heads are different. Most of the upper body I think is different, so there's a fair amount of new tooling in it, but yeah, you get the idea. There's nothing really on the back of the legs. So yeah, so that's those two. So that's the newest one, and I'm a bit miffed. I was transforming this for the comparison, and I wondered why the arm was a bit wobbly, and then it just dropped off on me. And yeah, I don't know if you can. I don't want to play with it, but anyway, basically this bit of plastic here, it's cracked on the inside, and I don't know how long it's been like that. But I took it. I bought it in Earthrise. So I bought it 2 years ago, and transformed it twice, and it's been sat on my shelf ever since, before I transformed it today. And I'm having no luck with toys at the minute. Everything just seems to be breaking on me, and it's really depressing. I hope nothing happens to this one, because if something happens to this, I'm gonna lose my mind. Anyway, here's that old Generations. I can't remember. One of the Generations, but I can't remember which one now. That's that one. You can see there's quite a bit of difference in that. And again, this is really stylized. I don't know if this is an IDW sort of inspired one. I don't really know, but yeah, you get the idea. I mean, it's considerably different. There's a lot going on there that isn't going on in the other one. But yeah, I still like this one, and the levels of articulation in this one are just brilliant. But yeah, I won't be getting rid of this one, that's for sure. I'll definitely be keeping it because I like it. So there's that, and then just to do that unfair comparison again, let me bring in the Fans Hobby one, and some smush. I mean, that's definitely, whoops, that's definitely quite unfair, but yeah, I mean, the Fans Hobby one is definitely well, it's a bit bigger. It's definitely a bit bigger, and it's more sort of anime styled, but yeah, I like them both. I think they're good, but I love this figure. I really do love this figure. So there you go. That's that. It's flipping heavy and all. If that one ever falls off my shelf, I'm gonna know about it. God, I hope it doesn't fall off the shelf. Alright, so then back to this one, and let's finally have a look at him with his weapons. So let's give him sword. That's that. And you can't. Can you use this as a shield? I don't think you can. I mean, you can hold it. You can hold it at a weird angle and use it as a shield, I guess. Yeah, you kind of use it as a shield. It'll kind of work that way. If you want to do that, it's gonna go in a box, that one, for me, I think. But, yeah, but he's decent. Yeah, he's a good figure. So price wise, I mean, he's 55 quid, and I will admit I I was going to get him. I was always going to get him because I love any Black Convoy. If I see a Black Convoy, I have to have it. So I was always going to buy it, but I was gonna wait until it went down a lot, because I don't like paying 55 quid for a figure that's basically a Voyager in a big box with a trailer that I really couldn't care less about. But since it was one of these bloody American exclusive things again, and they came into Smiths, I didn't know how long they were going to be available in Smiths. Now, knowing my luck, I paid the 55 quid and it's going to go down to 30 in a couple of weeks' time, because that's just my luck. There again, had I not bought it, it would have sold out and I'd never see it again. So yeah, FOMO got me good this time. But I certainly won't be paying full price for the regular version of this. I will wait until that's next to no money, and then I'll feel a little bit better about paying 55 quid for this. But not much, because that stings, man. That is so expensive. There aren't a lot of figures I'd pay that kind of money for, but like I said, it's a Black Convoy. I've got a soft spot for car robots. I don't like the American dub. I mean, you know me, I hate American dubs of anything Japanese. Just no. But the Car Robots cartoon, if you watch it in the original Japanese, it's brilliant. It's just funny. It really is just funny. It's a really good show to watch in the original Japanese. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this version of Black Convoy, so I really wanted it. But I don't know if I could recommend this figure for the price it's going for at the minute. Honestly, I don't think I can, in all good conscience. I don't think it's worth 55 quid. It's not. The addition of the trailer, I mean, maybe you could push that up 5 quid over a Voyager price, so what are we talking about? Voyagers now 33 quid, so yeah, 37, 38 quid maybe, but 55, no, it's just not worth that money. If you're not too bothered about it, if you'd like one but it's not going to kill you if you don't get one, I would definitely suggest waiting until it goes down in price. It's a good figure, but it's not 55 quid's worth of figure. And I think I'm going to leave it there. So as always, thank you for watching. Do take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.